Did you kill Grace Millane?
She's been murdered or not yet. She may be alive.
Hey, I just want to ask a question. Am I being arrested for something I didn't do?
This is the heartbreaking story of Grace Millane, a young woman whose dream trip to New Zealand ended in unimaginable tragedy. At the hands of a Tinder date, she thought she could trust early life and trip to New Zealand. Grace Millane was born in July 1996 in Wickford, Essex, England. At 21 years old, she was full of life, adventurous, and had a passion for traveling. She had just finished university and decided to embark on a once-in-a-lifetime backpacking trip across the world. By late November 2018, her travels brought her to New Zealand, a country known for its breathtaking landscapes, friendly locals, and vibrant backpacking culture. Grace was in Auckland and planned to celebrate her 22nd birthday there on December 2nd. Like many travelers, she used social apps to meet people. On November 30th, she matched with a man named Jesse Kempson on Tinder. The date that evening, Grace met Jesse in Auckland's city center. CCTV cameras captured their entire night, evidence that would later play a crucial role in the case. The two started their night at a bar, then moved between several restaurants and pubs. They drank, laughed, and from the outside, seemed to be enjoying each other's company. At one point, Grace texted her friends back home that the date was going really well. To anyone watching, it looked like two people connecting on a normal night out. But hidden beneath Jesse's charming exterior was something far darker. The disappearance. The next morning, December 2nd, Grace's birthday, her family and friends grew worried when she didn't respond to messages or calls. She always kept in touch, and her sudden silence was out of character. When her parents couldn't reach her, alarm bells rang. At the same time, Jesse Kempson's behavior was raising red flags. Instead of appearing like someone who had just been on a date, his actions painted a chilling picture. CCTV showed him leaving a hotel, going into stores, and purchasing cleaning supplies, a suitcase, bleach, and gloves. Later, he rented a car and bought a shovel. Grace was nowhere to be found. The investigation begins. Her family reported her missing, and New Zealand police launched a search. They quickly obtained CCTV footage, retracing Grace's last known movements. The trail led them straight to Jesse Kempson. At first, Jesse claimed the night ended normally, that they had consensual sex, and then he simply went to sleep. But as detectives pressed him, his story began to fall apart. His demeanor, the CCTV evidence, and the items he bought the next day revealed a disturbing truth. Within days, police discovered Grace's body. She had been strangled to death. Jesse had placed her inside a suitcase and buried her in a shallow grave in the Waitakere Ranges, a remote area outside Auckland. The horrifying news devastated Grace's family, who had just flown to New Zealand, hoping to bring their daughter home alive. The trial and the defense. Jesse Kempson was charged with murder. During his trial, he presented a shocking defense, claiming that Grace's death was the result of rough sex gone wrong. He insisted it had been consensual, arguing that he never intended to kill her. This so-called rough sex defense was controversial.
This is not a murder. And that's still what I say to you now. Nothing has changed. It was an accidental death that took place in the context of sexual activities that, if done incorrectly by inexperienced and/or intoxicated people,
to have killed Grace Millane, the defendant, gentleman over here at the back behind me, had to have had her under his grip, suffocating her, strangling her is probably the correct term, for a total of 5 to 10 minutes, at some point of which she lost consciousness and would have become under his hand whole, unconscious and limp and lifeless, and he had to carry on. And if that's not reckless murder in this country, ladies and gentlemen, somebody will have to explain.
Many saw it as a way of blaming the victim, suggesting Grace had somehow played a role in her own death. Prosecutors, however, dismantled Jesse's story. They highlighted how he showed no concern for Grace's well-being after her death. Instead of calling for help, he methodically cleaned the crime scene, bought tools to hide her body, and went on another Tinder date the very next day, while Grace's body was still in his room. The evidence was overwhelming. The CCTV footage, his internet search history, including disturbing searches about disposing of bodies, and his cold, calculated actions. After a high-profile trial in 2019, Jesse Kempson was found guilty of murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum non-parole period of 17 years.
Do you find the defendant, Jesse Shane Kempson, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Public reaction and legacy. Grace's murder shook not just New Zealand, but the world. It sparked global conversations about women's safety, dating app dangers, and the troubling use of the rough sex defense in murder trials. Many activists argued that such a defense allows perpetrators to avoid accountability by shifting blame onto victims. In response, Grace's family channeled their grief into something positive. They launched the Love Grace campaign, encouraging people to donate handbags filled with essential items for victims of domestic abuse. It became a powerful tribute to Grace's caring nature and her theme for helping others. In 2024, a documentary titled The Lie, The Murder of Grace Millane was released, shedding new light on the case and exploring the devastating impact of Jesse's lies. It also reignited debate around how society handles issues of consent, violence, and accountability. Emotional close Grace. Millane was a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. A daughter, a sister, and a friend. She wasn't reckless or irresponsible. She was simply doing what millions of people do every day, trusting someone she met online. Her tragic story reminds us of the importance of vigilance. But more than that, it highlights how the actions of dangerous individuals, not victims, are to blame. Grace's life was stolen by someone who chose deceit, violence, and cruelty. Today, her memory lives on not only through her family's foundation, but also through the countless people who have been moved by her story. Cases like this are never easy to hear, but they're important to share. Grace's story is a reminder of the dangers that can lurk behind a smiling face and a dating app profile. If you found this video informative, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more true crime stories told with the respect and detail they deserve. And most importantly, take a moment to honor Grace Millane, whose life was cut far too short. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.